Inmarsat plc is a British satellite telecommunications company, offering global mobile services. It provides telephone and data services to users worldwide, via portable or mobile terminals which communicate with ground stations through 12 geostationary telecommunications satellites. Inmarsat's network provides communication services to a range of governments, aid agencies, media outlets and businesses with a need to communicate in remote regions or where there is no reliable terrestrial network. The company is listed on the London Stock Exchange, is a constituent of the FTSE 250 index and a financial sponsor of Telecom Sans Frontières. History. Origins. The present company originates from the International Maritime Satellite Organization, a non-profit intergovernmental organization established in 1979 at the behest of the International Maritime Organization, the United Nations maritime body, and pursuant to the Convention on the International Maritime Satellite Organization, signed by 28 countries in 1976. The organization was created to establish and operate a satellite communications network for the maritime community, in coordination with the International Civil Aviation Organization in the 1980s. The convention governing Inmarsat was amended to include improvements to aeronautical communications, notably for public safety. The member states owned varying shares of the operational business. The main offices were originally located in the Euston Tower, Euston Road, London. Privatization. In the mid-1990s, many member states were unwilling to invest in improvements to Inmarsat's network, especially owing to the competitive nature of the satellite communications industry, while many recognized the need to maintain the organization's older systems and the need for an intergovernmental organization to oversee public safety aspects of satellite communication networks. In 1998, an agreement was reached to modify Inmarsat's mission as an intergovernmental organization and separate and privatize the organization's operational business, with public safety obligations attached to the sale. In April 1999, Inmarsat was succeeded by the International Mobile Satellite Organization as an intergovernmental regulatory body for satellite communications, while Inmarsat's operational unit was separated and became the UK-based company Inmarsat Limited. The IMSO and Inmarsat Limited signed an agreement imposing public safety obligations on the new company. Inmarsat was the first international satellite organization that was privatized. In 2005, Apax Partners and Permira bought shares in the company. The company was also first listed on the London Stock Exchange in that year. In March 2008, it was disclosed that U.S. hedge fund Harbinger Capital owned 28% of the company. In 2009, Inmarsat completed the acquisition of satellite communications provider Stratos Global Corporation and acquired 19% stake in Skyway Mobile Communications Inc., a provider of Inmarsat D+ ISAT-M2M network services, which in turn purchased the Global Wave business from Transcore. Inmarsat won the 2010 Macrobot Award for its broadband global area network service. Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. In March 2014, Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 disappeared with 239 passengers and crew en route from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing, after turning away from its planned path and disappearing from radar coverage. The aircraft's satellite data unit remained in contact with Inmarsat's ground station in Perth via the IOR satellite. The aircraft used Inmarsat's Classic Aero service, which does not provide explicit information about the aircraft's location. Analysis of these communications by Inmarsat and independently by other agencies agencies determined that the aircraft flew into the southern Indian Ocean, and was used to guide the search for the aircraft. Operations. The Inmarsat head office is at Old Street Roundabout in the London Borough of Islington. Aside from its commercial services, Inmarsat provides global maritime distress and safety services to ships and aircraft at no charge. As a public service, services include traditional voice calls, low-level data tracking systems, and high-speed internet and other data services, as well as distress and safety services. The most recent of these provides GPRS-type services at up to 492 kbit per second via the Broadband Global Area Network IP satellite modem the size of a notebook computer. Other services provide mobile integrated services, digital network services used by the media for live reporting on world events via videophone. The price of a call via Inmarsat has now dropped to a level where they are comparable to, and in many cases lower than, international roaming costs, or hotel phone calls. Voice call charges are the same for any location in the world where the service is used. Tariffs for calls to Inmarsat country codes vary depending on the country in which they are placed. Inmarsat primarily uses country code 870. Newer Inmarsat services use an IP technology that features an always-on capability where the users are only charged for the amount of data they send and receive, rather than the length of time they are connected. The first and second of Inmarsat's most recent series of satellites, known as the I-4 satellites, were launched in June and November 2005. The third and final satellite was launched from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan on the 18th of August, 2008. In addition to its own satellites, Inmarsat has a collaboration agreement with ACES regarding handheld voice services. Coverage. There are three types of coverage related to each Inmarsat I-4 satellite. Global beam coverage. Each satellite is equipped with a single global beam that covers up to 1/3 of the Earth's surface, apart from the poles. Overall, global beam coverage extends from latitudes of -82 to +82 degrees regardless of longitude. Regional spot beam coverage. Each regional beam covers a fraction of the area covered by global beam, but collectively all of the regional beams offer virtually the same coverage as the global beams. Use of regional beams allow user terminals to operate with significantly smaller antennas. Regional beams were introduced with the I-3 satellites. Each I-3 satellite provides 4 to 6 spot beams. Each I-4 satellite provides 19 regional beams. Narrow spot beam coverage. Narrow beams are offered by the 3 Inmarsat 4 satellites. Narrow beams vary in size, tend to be several hundred kilometers across. The narrow beams, while much smaller than the global or regional beams, are far more numerous and hence offer the same global coverage. Narrow spot beams allow yet smaller antennas and much higher data rates. They form the backbone of Inmarsat's handheld and broadband services. This coverage was introduced with the I-4 satellites. Each I-4 satellite provides around 200 narrow spot beams. Satellites. Country codes. The permanent telephone country code for calling Inmarsat destinations is 870 SNAC. The 870 number is an automatic locator. It is not necessarily to note which satellite the destination Inmarsat terminal is logged in. SNAC is now usable by all Inmarsat services. Country codes phased out on the 31st of December 2008 were 871 Atlantic Ocean region, East, 872 Pacific Ocean region, 873 Indian Ocean region, 874 Atlantic Ocean region, West. The other 4 country codes corresponded to the areas that Inmarsat's satellites cover. These areas were commonly called ocean regions. With the advent of SNAC on 870, the older country codes were no longer needed. They were formally phased out on the 31st of December 2008 but may still be routed by some regional carriers. Networks. Inmarsat has developed a series of networks providing certain sets of services. They are grouped into 2 sets: existing and evolved services, and advanced services. Existing and evolved services are offered through land Earth stations which are not owned nor operated by Inmarsat, but through companies which have a commercial agreement with Inmarsat. Advanced services are provided via distribution partners, but the satellite gateways are owned and operated by Inmarsat directly. Advanced services. The BGAN family is a set of IP-based shared carrier services as follows: BGAN, Broadband Global Area Network for use on land. BGAN benefits from the new I-4 satellites to offer a shared channel IP packet-switched service of up to 492 kbit per second and a streaming IP service from 32 up to Extreme data rate. Extreme delivers the fastest on-demand streaming data rates from a minimum of 384 kbit per second up to around 450 kbit per second. Most terminals also offer circuit-switched mobile ISDN services at 64 kbit per second and even low-speed voice etc. services. BGAN service is available globally on all I-4 satellites. Fleet Broadband, a maritime service. Fleet Broadband is based on BGAN technology, are offering similar services and using the same infrastructure as BGAN. A range of Fleet Broadband user terminals are available, designed for fitting on ships. Swift Broadband, an aeronautical service. Swift Broadband is based on BGAN technology and offers similar services. SB terminals are specifically designed for use aboard commercial, private, and military aircraft. M2M Communications. The BGAN M2M family is a set of IP-based services designed for long-term machine-to-machine management of fixed assets, as follows: BGAN M2M, which was launched at the beginning of January 2012, will deliver a global IP-based low data rate service for users needing high levels of data availability and performance in permanently unmanned environments, ideally suited for high-frequency, very low-latency data reporting. BGAN M2M will prove extremely attractive for monitoring fixed assets such as pipelines and oil wellheads, or backhauling electricity consumption data within a utility. ISAT M2M. ISAT M2M is a global, short-burst data store and forward service that will deliver messages of 10.5 or 25.5 bytes in the send direction, to 100 bytes in the receive direction. The service is delivered to market via 2 partners, Skywave Mobile Communications and Honeywell Global Tracking. Each has their own solutions to integrate the service into customers' infrastructure. Inmarsat Data Pro. Inmarsat Data Pro is a global satellite data service designed for two-way text and data communications with remote assets and has the capability to exchange large amounts of data quickly. This service is used in mission-critical applications and is used in everything from managing trucks, fishing vessels and oil and AMP gas and heavy equipment to text message remote workers and security applications. It is provided by Skywave Mobile Communications Inc. Global voice services. The company offers portable and fixed phone services as follows. Inmarsat Phone Pro. Inmarsat Phone Pro is Inmarsat's own designed and manufactured robust mobile satellite phone, offering clear voice telephony. It also comes with a variety of data capabilities, including SMS, short message emailing, and GPS lookup and send, as well as supporting a data service of up to 20 kbit per second. Inmarsat Phone Link. Inmarsat Phone Link is a low-cost, fixed, global satellite phone service. It provides essential voice connectivity for those working or living in areas without cellular coverage and also comes with a variety of data capabilities. Fleet Phone. Inmarsat's Fleet Phone service is a fixed phone service ideal for use on smaller vessels where voice communications is the primary requirement, or on vessels where additional voice lines are needed. It provides a low-cost, global satellite phone service option for those working or sailing outside cellular coverage. Existing and evolved services. They are based on older technologies, as follows. Aeronautical provides voice, fax, data services for aircraft. 3 levels of terminals. Aero-L primarily for packet data including ACARS and ADS. Aero-H for medium quality voice and fax data at up to 9600 bit per second, and Aero-I for low quality voice and fax data at up to 2400 bit per second. Note there are also aircraft rated versions of Inmarsat C and Mini M4. The aircraft version of GAN is called Swift 64. Inmarsat B provides voice services, telex services, medium-speed fax, data services at 9.6 kbit per second and high-speed data services at 56, 64 or 128 kbit per second. There is also a leased mode for Inmarsat B available on the spare Inmarsat satellites. It will be closed in December 2016. Inmarsat C. Effectively, this is a satellite telex terminal with store and forward polling etc. capabilities. Certain models of Inmarsat C terminals are also approved for usage in the GMDSS system, equipped with GPS. Inmarsat M provides voice services at 4.8 kbit per second and medium-speed fax data services at 2.4 kbit per second. It paved the way towards Inmarsat Mini M. Mini M provides voice services at 4.8 kbit per second and medium-speed fax data services at 2.4 kbit per second. One 2.4 kbit per second channel takes up 4.8 kbit per second on the satellite. GAN provides a selection of low-speed services like voice at 4.8 kbit per second, fax and AMP data at 2.4 kbit per second, ISDN-like services at 64 kbit per second and shared channel IP packet switched data services at 64 kbit per second. GAN is also known as M4 Fleet, actually a family of networks that includes the Inmarsat Fleet 77, Inmarsat Fleet 55 and Inmarsat Fleet 33 members. Much like GAN, it provides a selection of low-speed services like voice at 4.8 kbit per second, fax data at 2.4 kbit per second, medium-speed services like fax data at 9.6 kbit per second, ISDN-like services at 64 kbit per second and shared channel IP packet switched data services at 64 kbit per second. However, not all these services are available with all members of the family. The latest service to be supported is mobile ISDN at 128 kbit per second on Inmarsat Fleet 77 terminals. Swift 64, similar to GAN, providing voice, low-rate fax, data, 64 kbit per second ISDN, and MPDS services, for private, business, and commercial aircraft. Swift 64 is often sold in a multi-channel version, to support several times 64 kbit per second. Inmarsat D+, ISAT-M2M. Inmarsat's version of a pager, although much larger than terrestrial versions. Some units are equipped with GPS. The original Inmarsat D terminals were one-way pagers. The newer Inmarsat D+ terminals are the equivalent of a two-way pager. The main use of this technology nowadays is in tracking trucks and buoys and SCADA applications. Skywave Mobile Communications is a provider of D+, ISAT-M2M satellite data services with its DMR and SureLink series products. Skywave also provides satellite tracking, monitoring and control capabilities through its Global Wave Mount series products. Competing systems such as from Skybits only operate on the MSAT geostationary satellite over North America. MPDS, previously known as IPDS. This is an IP-based data service in which several users share a 64 kbit per second carrier in a manner similar to ADSL. MPDS-specific terminals are not sold, rather, this is a service which comes with most terminals that are designed for GAN, Fleet, and Swift 64. Inmarsat Phone provides voice services at 4.8 kbit per second and medium-speed fax data services at 2.4 kbit per second. This service emerged from a collaboration agreement with ACES, and is available in the EMEA and APAC satellite regions. Coverage is available in Africa, the Middle East, Asia, and Europe, as well as in maritime areas of the EMEA and APAC coverage. New projects underway. Global Express. In August 2010, Inmarsat awarded Boeing a contract to build a constellation of 3 Inmarsat 5 satellites, as part of a $1.2 billion worldwide wireless broadband network called Inmarsat Global Express. The 3 Inmarsat 5 satellites will be based on Boeing's 702 HP spacecraft platform. The first was launched in December 2013, entering commercial service on the 1st of July 2014. The second was launched in February 2015 and the third in August 2015. The satellites will operate at Ka-band in the range of 20 to 30 GHz. Each Inmarsat 5 will carry a payload of 89 small Ka-band beams which combined will offer global Ka-band spot coverage. In addition, each satellite will carry 6 fully steerable beams that can be pointed at commercial or government traffic hotspots. According to Inmarsat, Global Express will deliver download speeds in excess of 60 Mbit per second to a 60 cm dish. Inmarsat has announced plans to offer high-speed in-flight broadband internet on airliners using a system that integrates the use of Global Express and S-band service by using 2 antennas. The GX antenna on top of the plane for satellite backhaul over Ka-band frequencies and an S-band antenna underneath for backhaul from ground stations. In February 2011, Inmarsat announced that iDirect had been awarded the contract to provide both the ground segment and the core module that provides the key electronics in the new Global Express maritime terminals. During the course of 2016, Inmarsat will be introducing a series of market-specific, high-speed connectivity services powered by Global Express. Europazar, Inmarsat's foray into S-band mobile services. On 30 June 2008, the European Parliament and the Council adopted the Europeans' decision to establish a single selection and authorization process to ensure a coordinated introduction of mobile satellite services in Europe. The selection process was launched in August 2008 and attracted 4 applications by prospective operators, terrestrial. In May 2009, the European Commission selected 2 operators, Inmarsat Ventures and Solaris Mobile, giving these operators the right to use the specific radio frequencies identified in the Commission's decision and the right to operate their respective mobile satellite systems. EU member states now have to ensure that the 2 operators have the right to use the specific radio frequencies identified in the Commission's decision and the right to operate the respective mobile satellite systems for 18 years from the selection decision. The operators are compelled to start operations within 24 months from the selection decision. Inmarsat's S-band satellite program, called Europasar, will deliver mobile multimedia broadcast, mobile two-way broadband telecommunications and next-generation MSS services across all member states of the European Union and as far east as Moscow and Ankara by means of a hybrid satellite terrestrial network. It is being built by Thales Alenia Space and is slated for launch in 2016. Alphazar for extended L-band services launched on 25 July 2013. Alphazar IXL was carried into orbit by an Ariane 5 ECA rocket from the Guiana Space Center, Europe's spaceport in Kourou, French Guiana. The satellite was built by Astrium using an Alphabus platform and weighed more than 6 tons at launch. The new generation Alphazar IXL will be positioned at 25 degrees east to offer advanced mobile voice and data communication services across Europe, Africa and the Middle East using L-band. It features a new generation digital signal processor for the payload, an 11-meter aperture astromesh antenna reflector, supplied by Astro Aerospace in Carpinteria, CA. Its design life is 15 years. In addition, Alphazar will host 4 ESA-provided technology demonstration payloads, an advanced star tracker using active pixel technology, an optical laser terminal for geostationary to low Earth orbit communication at high data rates, a dedicated payload for the characterization of transmission performance in the QV band in preparation for possible commercial exploitation of these frequencies and a radiation sensor to better characterize the environment at geostationary orbit. Issues. Inmarsat and Iridium frequency bands abut each other at 1626.5 MHz, thus each SATCOM radio has the ability to interfere with the other. Usually, the far more powerful Inmarsat radio disrupts the Iridium radio up to 10 to 800 meters away.